With that, we'll move on to new business. The first item is a request by the Area Community Theater to support a tax-exempt status for their organization.
Just come right up here.
Sure,
All
welcome.
Right.
Yeah.
Hello. My name's Emily Wall. I'm the president of the Area Community Theater Board, and this is Sherry Lipp. She is our secretary. Over the past few years, we have been trying to get the attention of the state to look at the Area Community Theater building becoming property tax exempt. Sherry has been a huge part of that, as well as Sharon and Terry Larkin. They have also been supporting us with this and getting a lot of signatures from our patrons saying that they support this as well. We just received our tax bill, as many people in Tomah received, and this year the theater will be paying $14,800 in property taxes. Obviously, that's a very large sum for a small area community theater to pay. To give you a little bit of background on the building itself, I've been on the board for 3 years. Sherry has been on the board for 2 years. The building was acquired, I believe, 10 years ago, so it's before our time. However, I do have a little bit of background on it. Prior to ACT acquiring the building, it was the CenturyTel building, which was a utilities building, which was not property taxed. So they were not paying property taxes at that time. ACT purchased it with the hopes that someday we would be able to build up enough money to put an addition out into the parking lot and make our theater bigger, something more where we could seat more than 89 people. Right now we can only seat 89 people, which is why we hold 9 shows at a time so that we can get all of the people that want to come to it to be able to see the show. So we're looking at someday being able to expand and to add on to our theater. Currently, when the building was purchased, WWTC partnered with ACT and purchased part of the building. So they currently have their building downtown now, which is a great location for them. And as you know, then that opened up this building for the Tomah Area School District to purchase. When ACT purchased the building, they had the thought that this would be something that would be sustainable and we wouldn't have problem with the property taxes. Unfortunately, property taxes kept rising, and the community theater itself we're doing it, but we're struggling. And we're looking at, as many people nowadays are, some are living paycheck to paycheck. That is how the theater is surviving, is from show to show, just to keep the lights on. Currently in our building, we do house the Tomah Chamber of Commerce. We also house Riverfront, which is an adult day center. We also have different groups that come in and use our building. The Tomah Arts Guild has their art gallery there, and we do not charge them a fee to be there. They are there to put on their show, their artwork for the community so that people can come in and appreciate the arts that we do have in Tomah. We also have Miss Sullivan from the school district who rents one of the rooms from us to provide children with private music lessons during the school year. We also have the business networking, the Cranberry Country Business Networking Group that comes in, and we are looking at having Weight Watchers now start to come and have meetings at our building as well. So we feel that we have a lot of different groups in the community that utilize our building along with the theater itself, and we want to keep it going. We want to keep it alive. Not to mention that with the shows that we provide and we put on for the community, it's a form of live theater. And some of you may know that live theater isn't something that is huge right now in society, but we like to keep that alive, and especially in Tomah where we can provide cultural arts for the children and for our adults in this area. And we also feel that we provide a service to Fort McCoy and to the VA, where vets and people that are stationed out at Fort McCoy can have this form of entertainment if that's something that they choose to want to come to, or to be involved in a show as well. Something that we've just recently started that has involved the Tomah Area School District is we have started using the auditorium during the summer for our summer shows. Reason being is that we have started involving a lot of children in these shows, school-age children, and unfortunately with a cast of 50, there's no way we could hold it on our stage. So with that, we moved it over to the auditorium with the help of the Tomah Area School District, allowing us to use that facility. We do feel that we give children an opportunity during the summer to be involved in something that maybe they weren't able to be involved with during the school year due to sports conflicts, or just not maybe getting into the show that they had chose to audition for. So we do try to provide a service to the community and to the children of school age children to be involved in the cultural arts. Am I missing?
Nope, I just would like to add that I've been working with Senator Lass's office, and they have been kind of guiding me towards our main goal, and we've been talking with Roger Gorius, the city administrator, and he's helping us to get our local support, which is why we're here tonight. Our next step will be going to the Monroe County Board, trying to get their support as well, and then from there going to the state senate and getting on the agenda there, and hopefully with the community support behind us, it will be an easy in, and we will be listed just like the La Crosse Area Community Theater as being tax exempt, and then hopefully we'll be able to actually expand our theater, and kind of reach our future goals besides just paying next month's bills. So,
And just a note on the La Crosse Community Theater, they were deemed property tax exempt due to something moving through the Senate, and in that phrase, in the whatever it is, they said that the only community theaters in Wisconsin that are allowed to be property tax exempt must reside within 20 miles of the Mississippi River. Well, that obviously limits it to the La Crosse Community Theater, so it was written specifically for them. So we're asking them in turn, can you open this up, whether it's saying now that somebody within 20 miles of a military establishment, can then be property tax exempt, however they need to write it in order for us to be able to get that. We feel that it's rather unfair for a community theater only 40 miles away from us to be able to become property tax exempt, and as many of you may know, they have a beautiful building now, and we would like to be able to bring that to Toma as well. So, any questions?
Statewide, are there other community theaters that are tax exempt besides La Crosse, or are they?
there are, but some acquire that tax exempt status through other means, like being in a historical building or something like that. I do know that there is a community theater near Madison that is kind of trying to do the same thing, so we're trying to get them doing the same things that we're doing, but what I've been told from the senator's office is it does have to be kind of a county by county. That county has to support that property tax exempt status. So but I know there are other ways to get it, but we just kind of didn't realize how steep our bills would be at the time. So that's kind of where we're at now.
Anything else?
Well, I don't have a question. I want to thank you for what you bring to the community, and I don't know if the board wants time to think about this. I would recommend we go forward with it tonight. I think even though nominally we do lose some tax money, I think we gain more from your presence in the community. We're emphasizing community partnerships, and as Mrs. Zardy mentioned to me, you enhance our downtown, which makes it more attractive for families wanting to move to Toma and enroll in the Toma School District. So I think it's a positive when you weigh everything. And so unless people want more time to think about it, I would recommend us trying to go forward with this. I would recommend, personally, I would be in support of this, I guess.
And what we're asking from you is there's a letter of resolution that we ask that you sign, so that way when we go to the state, it is something that they see that you support us in.
Yeah.
And have you received support from the city yet?
Yes. Yep. We've gotten support from our mayor and from the city council. So, and then they did say it would help to have the school district behind us as well, and then also the Monroe County Board. So that'll be kind of
That's
the
our
next
next
hurdle.
So each group has to sign this
This letter.
resolution.
Right, yep, and then once we get to the Senate, they'll say, here's the bill, and then here's all these letters of support that go along with that. So just kind of showing that we have discussed it with everyone, and, everyone's on board with us, so.
Anyone else have?
I guess I'd like to know the cost involved. Is there any cost for this?
I'd have to check the specific numbers. Our tax bill this year is $14,800 roughly, but that's obviously split between the Monroe County City and the school district. So
there'd be some involvement with the district?
correct, yes. There would be, I don't know the exact dollar amount that would be taken from the school district, but I do know that it's not very much.
It is not very much.
I did check with City Hall, and they indicated that probably somewhere between $4,000 to $6,000 in tax revenue would be lost. But it's not that that's lost, it ends up being redistributed elsewhere.
We look at total equalized values
So-
of X amount of dollars, and that just means for the district's equalized values, you would lose X amount of dollars on that, which then, when you take your total property tax levy and divide that by that number, it starts to make up the rest of your tax portion of your levy for each municipality.
So your hope is that then on the 2014 tax bill, you'll be on the
Right,
rolls?
that would be the goal, yeah.
And for us, for the theater, not only are we hoping that it'll make our month-to-month bills a little easier, but we'll be able to put on shows of better caliber, and we'll be able to put more money into our shows that we're doing. We are a nonprofit organization, and like I said, right now, if you talk to our treasurer, he comes to the meetings not very happy. We are going show to show, and we survive a lot on people sponsoring our shows and donations and grant money. That is how we have been surviving. But at the end of the year, we're usually in the red.
So again, Greg, we don't lose any money, it just
It's
gets
not gonna affect our
distributed over
revenue
everyone
limits.
else.
It's not going to affect,
Yeah.
how much our taxing ability. What
Yeah.
it does, it affects how that levy is distributed within the city of Toma.
Yeah, okay,
Somebody,
Somebody-
all the taxpayers will pick up
Pick it
that
up.
loss of that
right.
that
Okay.
additional revenue.
All right.
I don't know, earlier this year, 2013, the city did do a survey asking our community about what they thought they wanted, what would make our city better. And I know a lot of the responses were about recreational opportunities for people. And I think we tend to think of recreation as sports and forget about the benefit that we receive from music and art, and those are recreational opportunities as well, being able to take your family to a play or a musical, that type of thing. So I do believe strongly that the area community theater, there aren't a lot of communities our size that have live theater productions, so we're very fortunate, and we would lose something if they were not able to continue to be in existence. And I do think, they've made an effort over the years to involve more students, and we don't, I think it's great for our kids to be able to have the opportunity to perform not just with their peers, but to be in productions where they are with older individuals, and I think it enhances the quality of life in Toma, and we would lose something if the organization had to go belly up. So.
I have a question. The other organizations that you have in the building,
Yes.
do you charge them rent?
We do. Those portions of the building would not be property tax exempt, so it wouldn't be the full $14,800 from what I understand, because anything that we are gaining revenue from, that would not be a portion of the exempt building. So where the Toma Chamber of Commerce is and where Riverfront is would not be considered property tax exempt. It would still be a large chunk, though, because the building itself is very large. And we do also, besides the shows, have other programs during the year that we offer to the school-age children as well as adults, such as the Haunted Mansion. We have a thing during Halloween where we invite people to come and put on a spooky mansion sort of thing in the basement, and it allows people to discover different avenues of, like Cindy's already was saying, of the different recreational opportunities that are out there.
Well, like John has said, I'm totally in support of it. The only question I have is what would cost the district, if anything, because of the budget process that we're in right now. Is that, and Greg, I think, answered it, does not affect us that way. That's the only problem I had with it, because we've been dealing heavily on this budget. We don't want this to interfere with that. So I'm just in support of it with Greg's answer.
Yeah, and it does not affect our budget, so.
Now, can I ask a clarification? I was under the assumption that, I believe about a year and a half ago, when Mayor, or the city administrator was Jim Bielecki.
Yes.
That at that point, the council had approved a resolution.
Correct, yes.
But that at the more recent city meeting, they were waiting?
Yep. The reason was,
I think basically it never got followed through with.
we did receive a letter from the city council signed by the mayor and the council when Mayor Roosh and Jim Bielecki were there. And then when, I forgot his name, sorry, Roger?
Yep, when I started working, when I was contacted by the senator's office after I had spoke with Senator Lassa, her assistant kind of explained the whole process to me, and I think what happened is the city council had agreed, yes, this is a good thing, but then nothing happened after that. Nobody took the steps to go ahead and, take this to Senate, because that's actually where it needs to be changed. It's a statutory law that has to be changed. Because the tax assessor has to go by that. So.
And then when the city hired Roger, is that his name?
Yep.
I'm sorry. Then he had to take a second look at it because he was not involved the first time.
Yep.
But he has since taken a look at that, and they have then backed us as well.
Yeah,
So
and I know that the person that I've been in contact with, Ben Van Pelt at the senator's office, is currently rewriting this bill to bring it to the senator's office. So it sounds like now we have an actual train to hop on to.
Yeah, we kind of ran full board at it and didn't really know all of the steps prior to it. Now we do. So.
So this time the steps are in place.
Yes.
Yep, we went right to the top now. Yeah. So I'm their squeaky wheel, and they need to get the old can of oil out.
Well, I agree that it's an enhancement to Toma itself, so I'm totally in support of it.
Great. Mrs. Zardi or Mr. Gorder, any other concerns? Okay. I'd look for a motion to approve the request from ACT to support a tax-exempt status.
So move. Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the request by the Area Community Theater to support a tax-exempt status for their organization. Any other questions or comments? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. The ayes have it, that motion carries, and so your request is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time.
Yes,
Thanks for
thank you.
coming.